Chosen one, this message finds you at the exact moment your spirit is ready to receive clarity. You didn't click by accident. You felt a pull, a knowing, a quiet urgency in your soul. That's because divine downloads are activating within you now. What once felt confusing is beginning to make sense. What once drained you is losing its power. The universe, guided by God, is lifting the veil so you can finally see the truth clearly. Today, you are being shown why certain connections feel heavy, why your energy has shifted, and why one specific presence, marked by the initial J, is reaching its spiritual expiration in your life. Listen closely. This is confirmation, chosen one. What you are experiencing right now is not confusion, overthinking, or emotional imbalance. It is divine information arriving faster than your logical mind can process. These sudden insights, sharp feelings, and moments of deep knowing are divine downloads. God is recalibrating your inner discernment because you are stepping into a higher level of awareness. Things that once felt normal now feel off. Conversations that once flowed now feel forced. Energy that once felt familiar now feels heavy. This is not coincidence. Your spirit is being upgraded to perceive truth without explanation. You are beginning to see beyond words and promises. You notice pauses, tones, inconsistencies, and intentions that were once hidden. This is because discernment is not learned. It is activated. Divine downloads bypass logic and go straight to the soul. That is why you can't always explain what feels wrong, but you know something has shifted. God is teaching you to trust what you sense, not just what you see. The J person is directly connected to this awakening because they exist at a frequency your spirit no longer resonates with. Before, you may have justified their behavior, made excuses for their absence, or rationalized the emotional imbalance. Now, you feel discomfort when you do that. Your soul refuses to lie to itself anymore. That discomfort is holy. It is a signal that your discernment has evolved. When divine downloads activate, tolerance for misalignment disappears. You no longer feel peace in situations that drain you, even if they once felt familiar or emotionally significant. You may notice that your body reacts before your mind does. Fatigue after interactions, sudden anxiety when thinking about them, or a heavy feeling in your chest. These are spiritual indicators. God often speaks through sensation when words would be ignored. Your intuition is now louder than your attachment. That is growth. That is elevation. And that is why maintaining this connection feels harder than letting it go. The divine download is also revealing patterns you previously overlooked. You see cycles repeating, apologies without change, promises without action. What once felt like patience now feels like self-betrayal. This is because discernment removes emotional fog. You are no longer operating from hope alone. You are operating from truth. And truth always disrupts comfort before it brings peace. You are not becoming cold or distant. You are becoming clear. Clarity can feel lonely because it separates you from illusions you once needed. The J person may sense this shift even if they cannot name it. That is why their energy feels reactive, distant, or unsettled. When one person receives divine clarity, those benefiting from confusion feel exposed. God is also teaching you that discernment does not require confrontation. Silence, withdrawal, and inner knowing are enough. You don't need closure from someone who cannot meet you at your level of awareness. The download you received already answered the question you keep asking. You just haven't fully accepted it yet, because acceptance means release. This phase is uncomfortable because your spirit is choosing alignment over attachment. You are learning that love without alignment becomes bondage. Discernment teaches you when to stop watering a connection that refuses to grow. You can still care and walk away. You can still love and choose peace. That balance is spiritual maturity. The reason this feels intense is because the download arrived at the exact moment your destiny required space. God cannot fill hands that are clinging to expired connections. Your discernment is not meant to punish the J person. It is meant to protect you. Protection often feels like loss until you realize what you were being shielded from. Trust what you are seeing now. Trust what you are feeling now. This clarity will not reverse. Once discernment activates, you cannot unsee truth, and you were never meant to. Chosen one, every connection you have ever encountered was assigned a season, whether you realized it or not. Some were meant to water you, some to wake you, and some to show you exactly what you will no longer tolerate. The J person belongs to a chapter that has quietly reached its ending. Their energetic expiration does not mean they are evil, unworthy, or insignificant. It means the role they were meant to play in your life has been fulfilled. When a soul contract expires, the spirit feels it long before the mind accepts it. You may sense a strange emotional flatness. Where intensity once lived, conversations feel repetitive, predictable, or empty. The connection no longer feeds you, challenges you, or inspires growth. Instead, it drains you, distracts you, or keeps you cycling through the same emotional patterns. This is how expiration reveals itself. God does not always remove people suddenly. Sometimes, He allows the energy to fade so you can release without shock and walk away with wisdom. The J person was never meant to walk with you into your next elevation. They were meant to introduce you to a version of yourself you hadn't met yet. Through them, you learn boundaries, self-worth, patience, or strength. But lessons do not stay forever. When you try to keep a lesson alive past its purpose, it turns into a burden. That is why holding on now feels heavier than letting go. Your spirit knows this connection has already ended in the unseen realm. You might feel guilt for wanting distance. You may question whether you are giving up too soon or being too harsh. But expiration does not come from emotion. It comes from alignment. When two energies no longer move in the same direction, separation becomes inevitable. No amount of effort can revive what God has already concluded. What feels like abandonment is actually completion. The J person may still reach out, linger, or attempt to reconnect emotionally. This is not because the connection is alive, but because expired energy often resists release. Familiarity creates attachment, even when growth has stopped. They may sense your detachment and try to pull you back into old dynamics. Not because they are malicious, But because your presence once provided comfort, they are not ready to replace. But comfort without growth is stagnation. You are being shown that love does not always mean longevity. Some connections are sacred precisely because they end. They teach you discernment, not dependency. The expiration you feel is God protecting your future by closing a door that no longer aligns with your calling. You cannot become who you are meant to be while carrying someone who belongs to who you used to be. Notice how your peace increases in their absence. Notice how your energy returns when you stop explaining yourself. Notice how clarity replaces confusion when you stop hoping they will change. These are confirmations. Expired connections steal time, not because they are dramatic, but because they quietly delay destiny. You are not responsible for how they interpret your growth. You are responsible for honoring what God is revealing to you. Release does not require anger or blame. It requires honesty. You can bless someone and still walk away. You can appreciate what was without forcing what no longer is. This expiration is not a punishment. It is a graduation. You passed the lesson. You learned what you needed to learn. And now the universe is making room for connections that can meet you where you are going, not where you have been. Trust the ending. God never removes without replacement. Chosen one, when separation is truly divine, it will not be met with understanding from the other side. It will be met with resistance. Resistance is not a sign you are wrong. It is a sign you are no longer controllable, predictable, or accessible in the same way. When your growth disrupts someone's comfort, they will often try to label your evolution as distance, pride, or change in a negative sense. But what they are really reacting to is the loss of influence they once had over you. You may notice that the moment you set boundaries, the moment you stop explaining yourself, or the moment you choose peace over engagement, tension arises. That tension is spiritual friction. It happens when two energies no longer agree to operate at the same level. The J person may question your intentions, test your limits, or attempt to pull emotional responses from you. This is not about resolution. It is about control trying to reassert itself where alignment no longer exists. Divine separation often feels unfair because you are changing while the other person remains the same. They may accuse you of abandoning them or becoming distant, but they are not acknowledging the work you have done internally. Growth threatens familiarity. When someone benefits from the old version of you, they will resist the new one. That resistance is confirmation that God is leading you forward, not backward. You might feel tempted to go back just to restore peace, avoid conflict, or maintain harmony. But harmony built on self-betrayal is not peace. It is suppression. God is teaching you that discomfort in separation is temporary, but discomfort in misalignment is permanent. The resistance you feel now is the final test of your discernment. Will you honor what you know, or will you return to what feels familiar? Notice how your silence triggers more reaction than your words ever did. This is because silence removes access. When you stop feeding the dynamic, the imbalance becomes visible. The J person may escalate emotionally, withdraw suddenly, or create confusion. These are common responses when a connection senses its hold weakening. Do not internalize this as your responsibility. Divine separation does not require your participation beyond obedience. There is also resistance within you. Part of you remembers who they were, who you hoped they would become, and what the connection once meant. That inner resistance is grief, not doubt. You are not grieving the person as they are now, but the version of the future you imagined with them. Let yourself feel that, without letting it dictate your decisions. God often removes people gently, but the heart still resists, because attachment lingers after alignment ends. This phase is teaching you spiritual authority. Authority does not argue. Authority does not beg. Authority does not over-explain. It moves quietly and decisively. The more you honor the separation, the calmer you will become. The calmer you become, the clearer it will be that this ending is not chaos. It is order being restored. You are not meant to convince anyone that this separation is necessary. Divine instruction does not require consensus. When God leads you away from someone, He will not always explain it to them. He explains it to you. That is enough. The resistance you face is simply the echo of a connection that has already ended spiritually, but has not yet been accepted emotionally. What feels like loss is actually release. What feels like tension is actually transition. And what feels like loneliness is actually space being created for what can truly walk with you into your next season. Trust the resistance. It is proof that the separation is not personal, it is purposeful. Chosen one. Peace is not something you chase after the release. It is what confirms you obeyed divine instruction. When the final cord loosens and you stop forcing connection, something subtle but powerful happens within you. Your breath deepens, your mind quiets, your spirit rests. This is not emotional numbness, and it is not avoidance. It is alignment. Peace arrives when your soul is no longer in conflict with what God has already revealed to you. At first, this peace may feel unfamiliar. You were accustomed to emotional highs and lows, uncertainty, waiting, and hoping. Chaos can become addictive when it is mistaken for passion or purpose. When that chaos disappears, silence can feel strange. But that silence is sacred. It is the sound of your energy, returning to its rightful place. You are no longer negotiating with truth. You are no longer ignoring red flags to preserve connection. That inner calm is divine confirmation. You may notice that your thoughts about the person no longer carry the same emotional charge. There is no urge to explain, defend, or relive old conversations. The attachment weakens without effort. This is how God seals a release, not with drama, but with detachment. Peace is not indifference. It is freedom from emotional obligation. You can remember without being pulled backward. Your intuition becomes clearer in this phase. Decisions feel easier. Your sleep improves. Creativity returns. You feel guided rather than pressured. This is because peace clears spiritual static. When you are no longer entangled in expired energy, your connection to divine guidance strengthens. God speaks more clearly when your inner world is not crowded with confusion. This peace also exposes how much energy the connection was consuming. You realize how often you were adjusting, waiting, forgiving or shrinking. Now your energy is yours again. That restoration is not selfish, it is sacred. God never intended for you to pour endlessly into a vessel that could not hold what you offered. Peace confirms that you stopped leaking energy where it was not honored. There may still be moments of nostalgia. Peace does not erase memory, but even those moments feel gentle, not heavy. You can appreciate what was without questioning what is. This is emotional maturity. This is spiritual closure. Closure is not a conversation, it is a state of being. And peace is that state. As peace settles, you may notice new opportunities, connections, or ideas emerging naturally. This is not coincidence. Divine order follows divine obedience. When you release what expired, you create space for what aligns. God does not replace prematurely. He waits until you are truly free. Peace is the evidence that you are. You are also learning that peace does not require isolation. It requires alignment. You can still love deeply, connect meaningfully, and open your heart, just not to what disrupts your inner truth. This discernment will guide your future relationships. You will no longer confuse intensity with intimacy or attachment with destiny. If doubt tries to return, measure it against your peace. Anything that threatens this calm does not belong in your next season. Peace is not fragile. It is protective. It guards your mind, your heart, and your purpose. And God does not give peace lightly. He gives it as confirmation. This is the final sign, chosen one. The release was real. The separation was divine. And the path ahead is now clear. Stay where your peace lives. That is where your destiny unfolds.